almost to our campsite. Looks like that's it up on the left-hand side.
Your destination is on the left.
Sure enough, here we are at the Springdale Campground in the Pike National Forest. Okay, it looks like we have a fee envelope and there is a campground host and they are in Unit 2. So let's get one of these and see what is available. Oh, these are long. Much different than the last one. Okay, there we go. We'll have to fill this out after we find a campsite. Looks like camping fees are $18 a night, so that's not too bad. Okay, adventurers, we have made it to our home for tonight, and I am super excited. This is an $18 a night campsite in the beautiful forest, and as you can see, this is going to be nice. Now, I did stop in town while I was in Colorado Springs and go ahead and visit the Planet Fitness so I could go ahead and take a shower because there's no amenities other than the vault toilets, which are right over here. See, nice and close by. Now, a lot of you have asked me how I maintain showering on the road, and so that's just a little tidbit there. I am going to be putting out a full shower video, though, to talk about all of the different options that there are out there, including the one that I have in my camping setup. But that's on a different day. Let's get comfortable and make some dinner, because I'm starving. Now, while we're exploring our campsite, I just wanted to bring to your attention that we do have a very nice table here. And despite the fact that it seems to be wood, yeah, no sags, no drags. This thing is super thick and then does have a concrete base. So I think we're actually going to cook out here tonight instead of setting up our little table. And that is really nice. But also, look at this. Fire ring and grill. Very nice. Okay, I'm letting the van run just a little bit longer to charge up my Jackery, and while I'm doing that, it's time to make dinner. So I picked up one of these little meal kits. It's ginger soy, it has the noodles, it has the veggies, and it has the sauce. So I'm trying out one of these today. It's a Kroger product, but I picked it up, I think, at one of the affiliate stores, I'm not sure. But I'm really excited because this is just what I need. I haven't eaten all day today, and it's so simple to make. I started off by just adding some sesame seed oil into my pan and a little garlic, and then I am sauteing my vegetables down, and then after they get to a nice saute, I'm going to put these in, and then this, and then maybe some of my sesame seed seasoning. I'm not sure. Okay, let's add in some everything bagel, just for a little something extra. Okay, now, not sure how this is going to work, but our goal is to get these to break up. So this is what it turned out like, and I think instead of using a bowl today, I'm just going to eat straight out of here, and then if I have any leftover, we'll put it in the fridge. This looks so good. So let's see how this goes. This is too much food. Okay. Now I think that this entire meal was like $3.99, and it doesn't have any meat or anything with it, but you could always like add in something if you wanted to. But this has such a good flavor. Look at this, guys. I'm sitting in the van, and right over in front of us is a little deer eating. I just love it. This is amazing. And the campsite is really close to a reservoir, so tomorrow we may drive to the reservoir and check it out also. I am so excited right now because I was kind of just looking around outside of Colorado Springs for a place to stay, and a lot of the campgrounds there are very much so more so RV places, like you're right next to your neighbor kind of places. And I've looked at some of those previous, and some of them when I was tent camping were not the nicest, let me tell you, because they saw me coming in with a tent and were like, no. And instead of just handling that in a nice way, they were kind of rude. So I wanted to find a place that I could spread out and be comfortable. And so this is just outside of Woodland Park, which is a little bit outside of Colorado Springs, but well worth it. I mean, we're not gonna find a deer wandering through camp in Colorado Springs, that's for sure. So today we didn't do as much driving and we're only at 47%, but I am going ahead and charging all my batteries because we have a very busy day tomorrow. And I'm gonna try to put up the solar panel first thing in the morning if we have some sun. Now I was kind of hoping that we would get it over 50 today because we didn't do a lot of driving, though that didn't happen. And tomorrow, depending on what we do, we may or may not be driving a lot. I'm not sure. So we may have to plan our day according to getting this guy back to a good percentage again, because I definitely will be using my laptop and that pulls it down fast. Laptops are just energy suckers, guys. I had no idea until I started doing all this off-grid stuff, and then it all kind of hit me right in the face. But I think for tonight we're about done. I've got everything kind of organized in the front. I've got my towel laying across because I can't leave it out all night, and get my little trash bag already started. Now the person who takes care of this area actually did come by, and she brought me this. This will let me get into the reservoir area, so I won't have to pay there. And then also she brought me this. Be bear aware. Now there are no bear boxes here, so it's up to us just to make wise choices. And being in the hard sides of the van, not too worried. But there's some other rules and things like that, so I'm gonna look at those real quick. Now most of these are very similar to that of what were displayed on the board up there, but just in case, and unlike some of the other campsites, we actually are not under a burn ban, so we could, if we wanted to, use this. Now I don't plan on doing this while I'm here by myself. I just don't like to tend the fire all night long, but we could if we wanted to. Now maybe later on in this adventure, we'll meet up with some friends and we'll have a good old campfire. I like one. I just don't like to do it by myself because, again, then I have to be out here until it is done. And I don't like to go to bed until I know it is absolutely done. So, no campfire tonight, but the ring sure does look nice. I am going to have to leave this outside tonight, though. And normally I don't like to leave anything outside, but this soap actually sprung a leak. And so I'm going to have to figure that out tomorrow. And this thing is soaked from my shower. So I don't really want to just put it on the dash and let it dry because I don't think it's going to dry very fast. So I'm going to leave it out here on the table. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So I think now what I'm going to do is I am going to start the process of doing what I do every day, downloading all the content from the exciting adventures that we went on. And I am tired. Today we took on a couple of small hikes. We went out to see some amazing things. And as a result, even though I no longer have the sunburn going on, did you know that just being out in the heat of the day could make your skin dry out even more? So I thought I had all of the peeling down and taken care of, but then I was out in that sun and it started peeling even more. So tonight's mission is to see if we can't hydrate our skin again. Always a challenge, and like I said before, campgrounds are for projects. Not always with the van, sometimes with me. Good morning, adventurers. We are still at the Springdale Campground, and the night was amazing. It was so quiet here, and the neighbors are far enough away that I couldn't even hear them, and they went to bed considerably later than me. So yeah, beautiful start to this morning. I did notice a few more deer came through last night. There's been some birds, some little chipmunks or ground squirrels, and I think we might call this home one more night. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about it. But we are about to get dressed and then go down to the reservoir and see what else that this area has to offer. I'm really excited because from what I was being told, the water is this like crisp, cold amazingness, but they do have like water activities and things like that that you can do down there. So we're gonna find out. Right now though, we're doing our morning routine, putting everything back in its place because that just makes the day go by better. Okay, adventurers, we made it out to the reservoir, and this place is amazing. There's a couple other campsites out here. They are a little bit more expensive than the Springdale because they have some amenities like water and stuff. But you can come out here and go on hiking trails. They have fishing areas. It is absolutely beautiful. And all you have to do is whenever you come out, you just show that little orange thing and you get to come straight in because you've already paid for a campsite. So this is kind of amazing. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down here closer to the water real quick, but in order to do that, I have to put on some different shoes. Yeah, we're not trying to slip off of this little hillside right here. This kind of is a big slope, you can't tell, but it definitely is. But I wanna get a closer look at the water and maybe feel it, because from what I was told, it is quite chilly. It was proving a little harder to get actually to the water than I was expecting. It was pretty close a while ago, but then there was like this big drop off, kind of like this. So let's go a little bit further up this trail and see if we can touch water. If not, that's okay. It's okay, it's beautiful just the same, but wow. I could probably do one whole video of just how amazing this place is. But yeah, what a way to start a morning. Look at how clear that water is right by the shoreline. And then it just gets a little bit darker and darker. It's a nice gradient. Okay, I had just gotten to what I thought was the end of the road so that we couldn't go any further, but then this guy came up. He's a security guy, and he actually said that I could drive across the dam because there's a whole nother section over here. This is so cool. So I just drove across the dam, and as soon as I got across, there is an overlook. Now this is called the Pike Forest Dikeside Overlook. Over here is a sign for the forest, and then over here along this, there are a couple of signs for the overlook. So let's go check it out. Well guys, the signs are a little worse for the wear, but we get a really, really awesome view of the spillway area. So this is the dam right here. And then over there obviously is the lake. And then this is where whenever they have to turn out the water, it goes. And as you can see, it just like tunnels down there aggressively whenever it goes. Now, in order to get over to this side, you have to come when this area is open. It opens apparently at 7:30 in the morning, and you have to be back by 5:30. So that was kind of interesting. This sign is missing, and this one not doing so hot either. But the view, oh, the view. Like in my mind, I can imagine the water rushing down here and kind of, and then going that way. And then just beyond this tree line, there's actually another body of water. So it probably goes into that. That is so neat. Sometimes when you're out on adventures like this, you have to use your little noggin a little bit to kind of envision things because they aren't always so clear. I would have loved those signs to have had something on them that would have told me a little bit more about this, but I have Google. I'll be looking this up. Definitely want to know a little bit more about the reservoir, but we are not yet finished with this area. We actually have one more space over by the boat ramp that we might be able to put our hand in some water. So we are definitely going to see if we can do that. I want to put my hand in some water. Now, just so you know, this is not a swimming area, so we will not be getting in the water in that capacity, but look at this. Isn't this nice? Okay, let's start out by going and checking out this view. The dog bounces a little bit. That's okay. Wow. This is amazing. I love where I am right now. The air is crisp. You can see the mountains in the distance. And I mean, look at this. Now the real test though, how does it feel? Ooh, it's chilly. It's very chilly. Yeah. Now, throughout this entirety of my journeys around the reservoir here, I've been noticing these amazing rocky views, like everywhere. Like over here, you can see what look like some big boulders. And I can only imagine that exploring this in a kayak would be amazing. So, if you have a kayak, come here. And as for me, I need to get a kayak. Look at this, guys. They have a kayak on a car. I could definitely have one on Dimples, don't you think? Now, in addition to the water activities, I've noticed at least 3 hiking trails that leave out of just this one section. So tons of stuff to do here, and definitely adding this back to my list to come back to just be here. But today, I'm going on a special adventure, so I'll see you guys next at camp. We made it back to camp and it looks like we are about to get some rain. So I left a few things outside, definitely going to be picking those up and putting them inside the van. So let's get everything organized really, really quick. And guess what, guys? Instead of 1 deer today, there's 2 deer. See? Isn't this so cool? They're just roaming around doing, you know, deer stuff. But I can't get distracted. I actually went ahead seeing that it was going to rain and picked up some food so I wouldn't have to be outside. And I have some organizing to do because I was just driving on some crazy roads today, which you'll see in another episode. But let's get this done before it gets wet. Okay, it looks like we got everything put into place. So if it does start raining a lot, then we are already set. That was fast, but kind of got a routine now as to what needs to go where and how to kind of move it there into nighttime mode. So I just went ahead and put everything into nighttime mode. Now, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get a few things done this evening, even if I am in the van, and that tomorrow, whenever I head out to our next adventure, it'll be something very manageable, because I do need to upload whenever I have some service. I didn't say anything before, but 0 service with AT&T at this campground. And I did try to use my booster and still 0 service, but there is a place just a couple miles down the road here that has full signal. So I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is explore that region a little bit and see if I can't find a campground in that area, but not sure. I don't know. We're in the Colorado Springs area for a few days, and I really like this particular area outside of Woodland because it's just really, really nice and it's really quiet. So I don't know, we'll see. And just a little update on Dimples here. Today, Dimples checked something off of the bucket list. That's right. You'll be seeing that video very soon, and you'll completely understand because it's something that Dimples made happen. And I'm not trying to be ominous or anything. It's just literally, it was a really cool drive that we did. So Dimples literally made that happen. After a long day at the office of traveling and doing all sorts of cool stuff, it's time to go home. There it is. There's home right there. That's an easy little commute from the front seat to the back seat. And we are about to be home. Now I do need to take out my trash still, so don't judge that. And I'm working on some different things with the cords. I had this one kind of behind the refrigerator and I liked it there, but I noticed that whenever I have to move the jackery down into the floor, I then have to move all of this just to make the jackery go down here. So it's a work in progress. But again, that's what campgrounds are for, figuring out all of the little pieces and making them all come together. So tomorrow morning before I pack up, I'll probably try to reorganize that a little bit. It's always a work in progress, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, typically I have some Netflix downloaded, but I watched the last program that I had downloaded and forgot to upload new ones today. So I have so many different DVDs. I have an entire series here. I have some action movies. I have some like cheesy movies. I have some comedies. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually pick a movie and probably just watch a DVD tonight while we work a little bit. Now the way that this works is pretty simple. It just plugs into the Jackery, and then we go over here to the DVD player and we turn it on. And this is just a little RCA DVD player that I've had for a really long time. It's a little noisy, but that's okay. And so now all we have to do is find a disc that we're interested in and put it in. So like, for example, the last time I watched a DVD, I watched We Are Marshall. So we'll take that one out and then we'll look through and find something that we're interested in. I think I might watch Say Anything. I haven't seen that in a really long time. And then we'll just put it in, close this down. So after we put it in, we just hit the play button and it's loading. Again, this one's kind of noisy, so if you're wanting to get one of these, maybe find one that's not quite as noisy, but it totally does the trick, especially considering that it is just now starting to rain outside, so we definitely can't be outside. See? There it goes. Now, I don't always watch DVDs while I'm traveling. However, since I knew I was going to be in areas that didn't have signal for an extended amount of time, I was afraid I would run out of things on my Netflix downloads that I could watch. And sure enough, I did. So this is a great alternative to being able to still have something to keep me entertained whenever it's doing something like it is right now, raining. And that way I can also just kick back, eat my dinner, enjoy something, and just kind of feel like I'm at home. Of course, this home has a much different view than the one back in Texas. Right out my door, National Forest. Speaking of which, we'll probably end up closing the door because the rain is starting to come in a little bit. And I don't want my rug and floor to get soggy. Since we're awake, let's go on a drive-through through camp. Good morning, adventurers. I had a wonderful night's sleep. It rained for just a little while, and then after it rained, it cooled off, and it was the perfect sleeping condition. Now, with that said, it is bright and early in the morning, and it is time for us to get off to another adventure. I am super excited about what we have planned next, and I hope that you are too. Now, make sure that if you have enjoyed checking out the Springdale Campground with me, that you leave a like, hit the subscribe, and check out my entire campground playlist. I have all sorts of campgrounds, from places like this that have a few amenities, to boondocking sites, to places that have luxury and excitement. That's right, I have some more of those coming up in the near future. Anyway, until next time, guys, bye!